So, let's see. A lot has been happening in the last month. December kind of felt like it was never going to end. I've been kind of dealing with a lot personally, and I've just been really busy the last month. But I have been taking a lot of photographs. In photography, over time, the camera sort of turns into a mirror of the photographer. The longer you take photographs, in my experience anyway, the less the technical specs sort of end up meaning to you, as emotion becomes more important than how or with what you shot it on. Don't get me wrong, despite what I've said on this channel, gear does sort of matter to an extent, but what I'm talking about is sort of past that. Once you've kind of gotten over how sharp your images are, and once you've got the process down to a point where you don't really even have to think about it, the gear ends up just sort of being the tool that allows you to bring the vision to life. And that is kind of where I'm at right now. And it's been making me think a lot about change in my approach, both to my photography and to this channel, because I think I've gotten kind of to the point of being predictable. Alternatively, I think the work that I've been making the last month or two is some of the best work that I've made. And I feel like the last 6 months or so, I really found my voice. And I don't feel the need to prove anything with my photography anymore. And I've been able to just sort of make the work. At the beginning of December, I attended a friend's wedding up near Boston, and it was just really refreshing to travel with my camera and just be presented new problems to deal with photographically. But the same thing kept popping up in my head every time that I would get a keeper. I think I would like this more on film, both the photograph and the experience of taking the photograph. And I know that sounds stupid because it is. So let me give you some context on how I got to this feeling. I grew up shooting film. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I was introduced to film photography when I was 8 or 9 years old. I got my own Olympus camera for Christmas when I was 12 or so. I am not a stranger to film, but it had been a long time since I shot some. And then about a year ago, my girlfriend and I thrifted this old Minolta X700, and it was actually a pretty good price. I got it for like 40 bucks. The shutter didn't fire at first, but I did some Googling and I was able to fix it. I went out and bought some cheap film. I bought some batteries for it. And the first time I went out shooting with it, and it died within an hour. And that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, especially for film cameras that use those little watch or hearing aid batteries. So I put the film in the fridge and I kind of forgot about it. Until about 6 months later when I got a phone call from my girlfriend saying she had found a briefcase at Goodwill. And within that briefcase was an old, heavy metal Canon film camera. The Canon F1. I won't go into why the F1 is such a dope camera, but long story short, it is fully mechanical. It does have a light meter that uses batteries, but it can take photos without needing batteries. And that was kind of everything I needed to get excited about film again. And it really helped that the camera was in amazing shape. Whoever had this camera before me really took really good care of it, because this thing came with manuals, a couple extra lenses, a bunch of filters. This thing is from the 70s and it still had some manuals, which is crazy. But I shot a roll with it and I put it in the fridge and didn't really do anything with it. And then I shot a roll with a disposable camera and didn't really do anything with it. We did end up shooting some 110 film on these little Mickey Matic cameras over at Epcot last year. And we did get those developed, and those actually came out pretty good. But that's kind of about the extent of the shooting of film that I've done recently. I just sort of had come to the conclusion that shooting film was too much of a hassle and it was too much money. And all of that is true. What is also true is it really doesn't matter how you make the image. All that matters is that when you look at the final image, you feel something. But I cannot deny that there is something about shooting a roll of film that you just don't get out of shooting digital, especially when you develop your own film. I don't like the idea of someone else being involved in my photography at all. So Nicole and I basically decided that processing at home is probably going to be the best way to do it. And I'd be lying if I said developing film at home was my idea in the first place. So I spent the better part of a month watching and rewatching YouTube videos on how to develop color film at home. And then after a year of flipping back and forth of do I want to, do I not want to, last week I finally ordered all the stuff that I needed to develop my own film. We developed the first roll a few days ago and it was a success, which is crazy. It was such an insane experience seeing that first roll of film come out of that tank, even after having sat in the fridge for a year. And at the very least, most of the photos are not a total loss from what I can tell. I really can't tell much yet because I haven't scanned them, and we'll get more into that in just a minute. But after looking at this first roll, I really needed to clean the F1 up. I really didn't do anything to it when I shot that first roll last year, so it was still pretty dirty when I shot that. But looking at it now, it definitely needed new foam to be able to fix those light leaks.
Hey, cool, it ripped. All right, I'm losing patience now. Now I'm starting to lose my patience.
So I, and I alone, changed the foam on that camera. But we got it all cleaned up, and it was finally time to start actually shooting film again. I took the camera out to some of the resorts around Magic Kingdom and into Magic Kingdom just a little bit. And I shot my second roll of 35mm film in a long, long time. All this is to say, I am in the middle of changing my process right now. Obviously, I can't shoot film full time. In 2025, I shot almost 40,000 photos. If I shot film full time, I would go homeless. So I don't really know what my end goal with all of this is yet.
And you know what? Honestly, it feels kind of good. It's pointless, but it's what I'm doing.
I might get 3 months down the road and decide that film is way too much of a hassle and it just isn't worth it. I don't know. But what I do know is that I have to trust my process, and it is telling me right now to lean into film. There's just something so different and tangible about it, and it just makes it such a different experience. But with all that being said, no, I can't show you any of the photos that I've taken in this video yet because I still don't have a way to scan them. Hopefully by the next video, we'll be able to go out, shoot a roll of film, come back, develop it, scan it in, and really take a look at what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. But I'm still getting everything set up to be able to do that. So in this video, we're not going to be able to see any of these photos that I'm taking. And trust me, that is just as unsatisfying to me as it is to you watching this video. Trust me on that. I just wanted to share sort of where I'm at in my process and this photography journey that I'm on. I've been just looking at a lot of photo books recently. The one I'm really stuck on right now is the new Daniel Arnold book, You Are What You Do. That book is insane, and it's just made me sort of realize all the people that I look up to as far as like my photographic inspirations, they all use film. Now, that doesn't make their work more valid than anything shot on digital, but I personally would like to take part in the same process that all of them took part in. I'm still going to be shooting the way I've been shooting, but I'm going to start adding a film workflow into that. This is a challenge that I want to take on. So if you like this, make sure you hit the like button. If you really liked it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because hopefully I'll be able to show you some of these photos in the next video. That is something I would really like to start exploring more on this channel. Like I said, I'm trying to change not only my approach to my photographs, but also these videos. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Like to find her out. See ya.